Hi guys, it's the end of March and I want to show you what I have been doing with my plants and what they have been doing. And Hugo is not interested at all, he only wants to sleep. So do you remember the mystery fern? Look how big it is, really huge, growing all the time. So I repotted it. It's in a bigger pot now, and I took it away from between the orchids because it's taking so much much space. It takes a lot of space, and this will grow even more, much more. I think I saw one at the Helsinki winter garden and it was huge. And this is making spores too. If this was in a greenhouse, I think it will start growing in every pot, but we'll see if it can reproduce and it will start growing in my orchid pots. It could happen. This is the Cattleya skinneri and it's preparing to bloom, really. I'm excited and I'm curious to see how they will look like. They might be smaller than usually, but it's something coming there. I'm curious. I'm looking forward to it. Let me quickly show you the Equagenera plants. This is the encyclical Orchids. This has no roots and it is growing these new pseudobulbs, so it's taking all the energy from the older bulbs. I hope it will make roots soon. And this one is the Prostechia cochleata alba, making roots, but doesn't have too many yet. But it's nice to see it's growing. And this is that little cross of Lelia harpophylla with Sophronitis cutineae, and it had 2 new growths. The smaller one here is not doing anything at all, and the other one grew a little. This might be, well, it's less than 2 inches, what would I say, 4 centimeters tall. And behind her, let's take it away. This guy here is a cross of Neophynicia falcata and I forget, this is not the correct name, but I could put it in the screen. It's a small plant, and I had potted it originally in bark and wine cork pieces. But the problem is I had to water it almost daily, and I just want to make things simple. So I decided to make this. I decided to plant in this traditional Japanese style, which this is my own version. It was really hard to make. It seems that this sphagnum I had was not too long fiber. It was quite short and it was so hard to make it like this. I had to use quite a lot of string too to keep it in place. And I want to show you what I have inside there. Let's take it off. This is a small plant. Carefully take it away from there. Let's see. It's a net pot, and then the reason for this is that this sphagnum will not stay moist too long. So I just put more sphagnum around it, and then the roots on top, and then more sphagnum. And if you look closely, you might see the brown string I put it around. It was the only way to make it stay, because this sphagnum is not so long fibered. It was shorter than I expected. Let's put the name tag back there. So, what I want is to spend less time watering it. I made this yesterday and it's still moist, not soggy. And I think the plant will be okay. And the other one that I made, I repotted recently to have less work, is this Sedirea japonica. Nowadays, Phalaenopsis japonica, and it's in semi-hydroponics. It's the only plant I have in semi-hydroponics right now. As you can see, it keeps some water on the bottom, and it dries fast. I have to flush it often, such that it will not have salt accumulations. Because this is transparent, I believe there will be some algae growing on it, unless if I find some dark pot to put this into it. But this plant used to be in amount I had to water it every day before going to work. I just don't want that kind of hassle. I want simple. Well, what else can I show you? This is the Cattleya. When this Valentine in June, and this is the newest pseudobulb, the one that tried to flower, but it made a drop of sap inside the sheath, and then the buds, they all rotted. And one thing I noticed is this. I noticed this yesterday. I tried to look with the magnifying lenses and USB microscope. There are no things living there. This is some sort of fungi infection, and there is more inside the leaf too, but I have just to keep watching it to see if it's okay. And the leaf seems to be dry, and this might be because it's in a clay pot and it wants to be watered more than once a week. I love the way clay pots look like, but really plastic ones are much easier. They demand less watering. They are just light. This is beautiful, and if this was a top-heavy orchid, this would be perfect, but it demands more care. And this is the newest growth now, coming from there. And speaking of new growth, the Cattleya forbesii behind it, the new growth is becoming larger, and the other one is still a bit smaller. My mother of thousand has grown a little. Let me show you the size. Very nice plant. The Brassavola nodosa is sleeping after blooming, and the Aeonium I got from Rachel last May. It has grown. It has lots of little branches. I don't know, do I see 5 or 6? I'm not sure if the other side has one. And it has got a lot of color, even though the sun doesn't shine here. This is only the light from the window and the artificial light, and it's getting a beautiful color already. And by the side of this plant we can see the Aliciaria tahitiandenser, not blooming anymore. It's growing new growth. The leaf has something there that maybe I should cut it off. I don't know if it's a fungal thing, but I mentioned that it was making another spike, but I was wrong. It's making a new pseudobulb inside the leaf, in the place where it makes a flower spike usually. I had never seen an Oncidium hybrid making a new growth from between the leaves. Usually they make from the outer side, like this one. So it's funny. And my Phalaenopsis minimark is still blooming. It seems like the colors have faded a little, but they still have a nice perfume. And here is the BLC Almaki Tipmali. The new growths are growing, very nice. The Cattleya Gold Digger Mandarin is also blooming, and it has a nice but very mild scent. And this cattleya here was the name Doris and Byron. Christmas rose. Looks really nice and it has a nice scent. What else? Psychopsis is blooming, and the Cycla vitellina too. And the vitellina also has a new growth coming over there. And this is how the Psychopsis looks right now. And this is the keiki. It's not too big, but not too small, and the leaf is already open. And it's making more roots from there. It looks nice. The Cattleya mini purple cerulea is also making that new growth. And I noticed that the Dendrobium berry oda has lots and lots of new roots there. And it keeps insisting on making lots of them outside of the pot. I think this is fairly annoying. And this is that no ID Cattleya. And here's my Dendrobium banana royal. It used to have a new growth over here, that black thing in the middle of the screen. It's dried. It doesn't seem to have any roots, and I thought this maybe was going to die, but as you can see, it has green. It has 2 green bulbs, and this one here that might be okay. The back bulbs seem to be quite dead, but I thought I would just keep it here, and then I noticed this. It's once again trying to make a new pseudobulb. Can you see it over there? So now I just have to wait and see. It might die or it might grow. I really don't know. I don't know if it has the strength to grow, but I hope so. And here on the right is the Cattleya tenebrosa, and the bulb is plumping up very nicely, and it has a sheath over there, and new root coming out of the pot. I really need to repot this. I don't want to divide it yet. I just want it into a bigger pot. And of course this phal is still blooming and making more buds. It's such a nice plant. And this guy also growing, lots of new growth. Look at the Vanda. Look at the Vanda. The upper part is okay, but the lowest part is so dry. Because the roots are in that condition. Not all of them are okay. And if you remember from a previous video, it had that small root that didn't look like it was doing anything, but now it's starting to grow. It looks kind of odd. I hope this root will develop. It also has a little root on the other side that I hope it will develop. I don't know what it's doing right now. Well, I hope you enjoyed the update. You are looking at the Paphiopedilum primulinum, and I will leave you with that this time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.